England will score a lot of goals in the group, but yeah, they might concede a few as well. I think if it goes badly, then he'll leave. If England actually win the tournament, he'll probably leave on a high as well.
Mm-hmm. It's Coming Home becoming a Christmas song. Well, who saw that coming? Well, in a matter of days, it will be playing alongside Mariah Carey as England start their campaign in Qatar. Alongside USA, Wales, and Iran, this group is looking trickier by the day. Injuries galore, and suddenly no right backs. Gareth might have to attack to advance. Here to talk all things Three Lions with me is friend of the show and host of For the Love of Lists pod, Jack. How are we doing, mate?
Hello, yes, all good, thanks. You all right?
Yeah, very good. Very, very good. Actually, these videos are starting to help me get into the mood of the World Cup. I'm sure you're the same, with Arsenal doing incredibly well this year. It's been very difficult to think about the World Cup, but are you starting to get excited about it?
Oh, I don't know if I am, to be honest. I mean, as you say, it's because Arsenal are doing so well. Mm-hmm. I don't want us to stop, but then at the same time, because we're playing our first 11 every game, it might help us potentially.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. I think, honestly, my heart can't take it at the minute. It's been at the top of the table. So I think maybe a little bit of a respite. Think about something else. Go again just after Christmas. But we do need to talk about England. And we're here to talk about I feel like it's a weird time in English support. Gareth Southgate has been doing incredibly well, getting us, of course, to the final of the Euros, the semis of the previous World Cup. But how would you describe the qualification campaign? And how do you think England looked throughout it?
To be honest, like there was games where it clicked, but qualification plus just general before the World Cup, like all the Nations League and stuff, like. It doesn't look like we're a top side to me. They're not as good as they was. I don't know what it is, because I think Southgate's done a really good job, but he's starting to get a lot of doubters, and maybe that's playing into the results of the last year or so. But I mean, England qualified with ease, didn't they? Really, and they always tend to. But I'm not feeling massively confident. But then again, I don't think the group's that difficult, so I think at least that won't be an issue.
Yeah, with the qualification, it was weird, right? Because like I said, for England, it generally tends to be quite comfortable, and we did get through relatively comfortably. But I feel like what people were more upset about was the style of football, and maybe with this generation of players we have, maybe Gareth isn't utilising it to the best of its abilities. Where do you stand on that?
If he's a club manager, style of football is very important. But at the end of the day, like if he's going to have to play with two defensive midfielders in the knockouts, then probably, like it or not, they're going to have to play negative football. But I can see why people are not happy with the kind of quality and style of football. But at the end of the day, most teams that win the international trophies are built on defence. The shirt, the nation of the shirt I'm wearing is probably the exception to that.
Yeah, I think that is the exception that proves the rule, right? But Italy definitely won the Euros on defence, right? They definitely, towards the end, scraped through and kept it tight and didn't really do much. I think you're right. It is more about just winning games. So talking about Gareth Southgate himself, obviously it's very much a split down the middle at the moment with how people feel towards him. I think he's still got enough credit in the bank that he should get this, that he should, of course, get this tournament. He deserved this tournament. But I do find it incredibly, incredibly frustrating that we don't play the football that I think we could when we have such attacking talent. Do you expect Southgate to be in the job beyond this tournament, regardless of how it goes?
No. I think if it goes badly, then he'll leave. If England actually win the tournament, he'll probably leave on a high as well.
Yeah.
You know, if it's somewhere in the middle, then he might stay, depending on kind of the circumstances behind it. So no, I think it's a bit up in the air. I mean, there's a few managers kind of that have been linked with stuff and out of jobs, but I don't know now if a national manager's job is, the biggest job these days. Like club jobs are bigger, so I don't know if someone like, for example, Graham Potter was always, linked. Eddie Howe as well. Is the Newcastle job now bigger than the England job? Or will it be in a year or so?
It's probably a bigger wage packet. It's almost definitely a bigger wage packet. So how do you expect him to line up in the tournament? Who do you think is going to be like? There's a lot of kind of competition for, especially in the attack, like the wingers, attacking midfield. At defense, we're not really sure what to expect. How do you expect him to line up against Iran in the first game?
So I feel like he's probably going to go fairly tried and tested, but because Reece James is out, because I think Reece James would have been good in like a 3 at the back or 5 at the back, however you call it. So I think he still might do that. Probably not against Iran, to be honest, but in general. But yeah, against Iran, he'll probably play definitely one of Stones and Maguire. Like, it doesn't even matter about their form. We know that Southgate loves them, so he's going to play them. I'd like to see him play Trent against Iran.
Okay.
I don't know if he will. I think he'll probably play Trippier, but I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't want to play Kieran Trippier every game, because I think you're risking. I don't know. He's had a few injuries, hasn't he, over the last?
He has.
So I wouldn't really want him to play back to back to back. So if you can rest him, and then he'll play at least one of Maguire or Stones, probably both. And he might just stick with that throughout the tournament. He'll probably play, Pickford in goal. Midfield, Rice, Bellingham, and one other. The real wild card is the wingers as well. But he could go really attacking. Like, I'm hearing Maddison's probably not gonna make the squad. If he did, it would have been good to actually play Maddison and Bellingham in the team against them. But it's going to be one other with Rice and Bellingham. And then up front, he's got to play Saka, isn't he? Like,
I'm afraid he's going to pick Foden over him just because it's Foden. I think Saka's just not going to. He's been the best right winger in the Premier League this year. I think it's fair to say Saka, but I don't think he's going to start.
I'm not going to complain if Saka doesn't get played.
No.
But he could play both potentially. Foden on the left, Saka. I'd prefer Foden on the left actually. Anyway. Yeah. So he could do that. But it's a weird one.
And of course, it's Harry Kane up top. There's no discussion. Callum Wilson for the last 10, 20 if it's not going well. Nice. Well, we've gone through the team there. We've gone through kind of the players we know. Which player do you think is going to be like the breakout star for England in the tournament this year? Who do you think people are really going to be talking about after this is over?
So I think not just it's difficult because breakout star, I think this guy's already a superstar probably. But in my pod, I did a predictions and I said I think Jude Bellingham will win Young Player of the Tournament.
Yeah.
So if he counts as a breakout star,
I will allow it. I will allow it. Yeah.
If not, there isn't going to be a breakout star. I don't think.
Yeah. I think he is the one, right? And I think people are starting to learn more about him now. He's at Dortmund, but he is. I think he's the one that people are going to like. The English people who don't watch foreign football are going to realize how good he actually is. Yeah,
I suppose one is how much do people know about Declan Rice? But I suppose like in Italy, you would kind of get the view on what they know. But because he played in that final against Italy, and I think he was, from memory, probably the best player for England that day, they probably know a fair bit about him. It's probably Bellingham if it counts.
Yeah, I think it just counts. Good. And then before we get to your predictions, what do you think would count as a successful tournament for England? What do you think the people expect?
I think success would be semi-final.
Okay. I think that's reasonable, right? I think people are kind of expecting us to build a little bit. We got to semi-final last time, final. I feel like some papers would be upset if we only got the semi-final, but I think most reasonable people kind of accept the semi-final will be a hell of an achievement. I think the group's pretty tricky. I genuinely think the group's pretty tricky. We'll get through it, but I don't think it'll be as easy as people think.
Yeah, I guess the thing with it is, England's for some reason struggle against the USA. I don't know why. And then, Wales, just because it's a derby.
Exactly.
I think any other team, the quality of Wales that wasn't British, England would. But I feel like England will score a lot of goals in the group. But they might concede a few as well.
Yeah. I hope you're right on the scoring goals anyway. Nice. So we're going to go for your bold predictions. So let's go through it. First question is, which team do you expect to be lifting the trophy shortly before Christmas?
Brazil.
There we go. That is, I think, our most common answer so far. It's the most popular answer. You can probably guess the second most popular answer. But yeah, it's been Brazil or Argentina. People tend to be picking at the moment to win. Nice. Which player do you expect to pick up the golden boot?
So I think Harry Kane.
Nice. Okay. Any reasoning behind that?
I can see him getting a hat-trick against Iran.
Oof. Nice. I like it.
And from there, I think he could do what he did last time. Just get. And there's a few teams like Brazil, France, Argentina that they share the goals about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think England really do. So I think if England are going to score, Kane's probably going to be involved.
Nice. I like it. Who do you think will be player of the tournament?
Right. So this is Rogue.
Okay.
Alisson.
Oh, nice. You're going to have to explain that one. Alisson. Wow. Okay. Go for it. Why?
Liverpool haven't been playing well, but Alisson, I think, has been playing really well this season, last season as well. We saw it in 2014. We saw it in 2002. Goalies can have a big impact. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals in the late knockouts, and I think Alisson's going to be quite key because, you think of a big team like Liverpool, you'd think, they control the game and stuff, but they allow a lot of shots. Alisson's really good, saving one-on-one. I think Brazil are going to be the same. They'll probably concede quite a few shots, but Alisson will be keeping them in games and stuff. And nice. I don't think any of these attackers are going to particularly stand out, but Neymar's probably close. I think Neymar's going to have to do something if Brazil win the World Cup.
Very nice. Good. The next one is, which team do you have down as the biggest dark horse? Who's going to surprise people?
This has changed. So it was Senegal, but
until the breaking news. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's massive. Like with Mane probably being out, I can't see them going anywhere near what they were. I think I'm going to go with Croatia.
Nice. Okay.
Because
why is that?
Well, that group's really interesting. Like Croatia, Belgium, Morocco, and Canada, isn't it? And I think other than Belgium, probably a lot of people have either probably any of those three going through. I think Croatia will out of that, and I think in a one-off game, even though they're quite old, they could probably get to like the quarterfinals.
Nice.
Possibly.
Nice. Yeah, they could definitely
get a nice draw.
They could definitely still upset a team or two without a doubt. Modric is still absolutely unbelievable. Nice. And then finally, with your head and not your heart, where will England get to in the tournament?
Quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals. Nice. Well, I think, honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I'd be happy with. I just want I don't know what I want. Yeah, a decent show in semi-finals. I would like semi-finals, but I think quarterfinals is probably realistic. The more I look around, there aren't that many European teams in great form. The only two teams that terrify me really are Brazil and Argentina. They're the two teams where I'm like, if England get drawn against one of them, then I think it's game over, really. But we shall see. We shall see. Guys, that is the end of the video. As always, you'll find down here a like and subscribe button. Please hit both of those. And around here, maybe, or that side, you should see the rest of our World Cup videos. So click on them, have a look. We are trying to aim, or we're trying to get all 32 countries that are qualifying for the World Cup. You'll be able to see if we achieved it. And Jack, thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. My pleasure.
If our viewers and listeners want to find your things, where can they find you online?
So sort of everywhere really, Twitter, Instagram, and then in terms of our podcast, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, stuff like that. So if you put in FTLOL or hashtag FTLOL on whatever podcast platform, you'll find us. And then if you put in just FTLOL podcast on any of the socials, it'll come up.
Nice, perfect. Thanks for coming on, man. And viewers, even, we will see you next time.